of course, very important night we have lived through. I think just winning the game is not the idea, the game idea that we had, as also how we performed and shown the show, and the passion and how much the fans wanted, and defending and attacking with the team, creating this atmosphere. First of all, I would like to thank the fans, to our players as well. They have lived this throughout the game. Tactically, I think that we have done very good in generally. Right now, one of the most important teams in Europe, one of the most important squads they have. Of course, a very good coach as well they have, from the beginning to the end of the game, to score, to create chances. They have really fought hard. Winning, scoring the goal early on was, of course, a great chance. We had created more chances, but also given chances. But I think, in general, with the fight that we have shown, I think that we deserve to win. A very important victory this was. First of all, to my players, I would like to thank everyone. A very beautiful atmosphere this has been. In the Champions League, we had an experience, a bad experience in the first game. I think with this 3 points, we have actually gotten from the three that we had lost. This is a long road, but this has been a morale for us and for the Turkish football. We have also shown what a Turkish team can do, and I'm very happy. First of all, congrats. Superior performance you have shown against the Premier League champion. After the Tottenham game in your Galatasaray career, was this the best game I had asked? And for Liverpool game right now, I would like to ask you tactically and performance-wise, do you think that this was the best in your career? Of course, two are very different games. Tottenham game, we had dominated a lot more. We had created a lot more chances. We had scored more. Perhaps 7, 8 goals we could have scored there. But in this game, tactically, I think how we faced the opponent in mid block, opponent's first block as well, low block, how we had been facing. I think also in our first block, how we had been defending against our opponent. We have given very few chances. As I said, Liverpool as a team is actually very close to scoring, and they create a lot of chances and they score a lot, and not conceding any goals in that sense is very important. As I said, two very different teams. One is the Europa League, the other is the Champions League. Winning a game in Champions League is truly very difficult, and for living this victory against an English team and against a team that has been the champion, in that sense, I'm very happy. We are in the 1st of October. This is the anniversary of the founding of Galatasaray. It has been 120 years playing like English and winning against the non-Turkish teams. This was the goal. And what would you like to say about the victory that you had, and also for Champions League? What do you think that this has added in your career? First of all, of course, Galatasaray community may be well. In the 1st of October, it has been formed, and for many years, me as well, I have been playing as a player in many games, and as a technical, as a head coach, I have been playing. And we have won two trophies in Europe, Super Cup and UEFA Cup. And beside that, in Turkey, we are trying to represent Turkey the best way possible. And I think also very valuable things we have done, I think. And from here on out as well, this game is just one victory. We have a very long road ahead of us. 6 games awaits us. Getting this motivation, and if we are not concentrated for the coming games, of course we may be disappointed. Or we're prepared for the Liverpool game. I think the next game, Bodaglik game as well, we should prepare the same for this victory, for these 3 points, to understand how much how importance it has in the following games. This year, Galatasaray teams and the fans' goal is what they wanted is success in Europe, and we have a good squad for this. Actually, to each other as well, we are adapting, getting used to. Every game is an experience, new players arriving, our system, how we face the opponent, the connection between the players. We, of course, had a team that has been coming from the past year, but with the new players coming as well, and they are starting to get to know each other, I think, in these games. And in that sense, some players that have been playing in different countries, I think we are doing a good job. Congrats, coach. A very important, very big victory. What I would like to ask is Galatasaray today in Liverpool game and in Allianz Sport game and Frankfurt game, and from the beginning of the season, always as if has been playing a different team. Truly, the performance is very different from game to the game. This major difference, why is that in your opinion? Thank you. Actually, from last year, we have this squad. We have been continuing. There are new players that have arrived. Their adaptation from game to game, when you think about it, between the previous game and this game, there are about 5 players different. When you have such a great squad, you're using different players and different systems you're using. In the Turkish league, we would like to see actually certain things. To see certain things, we are making some tries. From after Alanya game, I had actually said in the last 10 minutes you wouldn't normally put a second striker, but Osman needed to play in that game, and those risks you have to take because in the next game, if you want to play with him, you have to put him in that game too, and that's why when you take a look for today, single played as right back, Davinson and Abdul Karim, Ismail Jakobs, perhaps first time they have been playing with 4 in the back this way. Game by game, this is an experience for us, and in the league we continue winning. In Europe, we have won tonight. Perhaps we had played very well in Frankfurt in the first half, but we have been in the halftime 3-1 behind. But match concentration and Turkish league concentration and Champions League concentration can be different. But with time, I think we are gonna also stabilize that. Osimhen hasn't played for a long time. He is very important, as you know. Him being on the pitch changes everything. Icardi came back from injury. He also is starting to get in shape. And when we take a look at our players who have arrived, on one side we never had complete team. Perhaps it was tonight that we had the complete squad. And in that sense, the differences between the games, as I said, about adaptation, about concentration, I think all of these perhaps certain games are played badly. But as I said, between these games, these player changes we're gonna make, these rotations are important for us as well. Congrats, first of all. Thank you. This season, Liverpool, for the first time, hadn't scored a goal. Diego Simeone hadn't had success. Arteta hadn't that success, and Okan Buruk has success in this. Uh, I want to ask you what type of weekend you have gone through. How did you analyze? And you remember after Frankfurt game as well, to you and to your team, there has been very heavy criticism. In how many Liverpool games your team has seen, I'm curious about, and also putting names such as Sane on the bench is also not very easy. How was the process? I'm curious. Of course, after we get to know which teams we're going to play against, we start taking a look at their games. Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, Frankfurt, we started to see, of course, at the beginning. We are seeing a lot of games, especially Premier League. Most of the games we are seeing, we don't let any escape as much as possible. When we are watching them, of course, the opponents have different game ideas. Crystal Palace, for example, stays in low block, and they pressed from time to time, but most part of the game they have been in their own half. They're made 5-4-1. They had defended. They stayed deep. But our game idea, depending on that, how we can do it the best, we thought about that. And 4-4-2, we tried to face the opponent, especially in mid block, the midfielders who dropped, closing that player. And with Yunus, of course, We know that they're all receiving from the back, so we try to press to him. I think especially Lucas over here and Lemina, Costorera, them pressing, Davinson pressing. I think in many situations with correct pressure, very important regaining possession moments we had lived through without dropping back too much. Since I have arrived, actually, we never played in our own half. We never played a defensive game. We had played well tonight. Sometimes we weren't very aggressive, lesser aggressive, but generally we pressed correctly. And to our opponent, Liverpool's least amount of chances that they have gotten, we have given, I would say. Congrats. Thank you. An incredible game, truly. Leroy Sané for Champions League, a player that had been transferred for Champions League, and it was a very brave decision. Perhaps with a different score, you could have been criticized very heavily. How did you prepare him? Is he demoralized? And also, I would like to ask, in the last 3 years, there have been weeks where he have been very heavily criticized. Last week as well. In that time, you had put a victory against Fenerbahce in an away game. You had put their guard down, and today you have another victory. In these criticisms and around this, preparing yourself for these games, how was it? Do you think that you don't deserve? I'm gonna start with Leroy. Actually, of course, a very important player in our game plan for tonight. Three midfielders: Ilkay, both in front a bit next to Osimhen, also as a third in the midfield we thought of using. That's why we played with two wingers. Yunus keeping the ball, making link up was important. Off the ball runs very important. As a right back, Wilfried Singo playing was and also when we were using Barish, it was an advantage for us. Transition to attack with Barish, making deep runs. I think with two wingers, we had this advantage. And afterwards, we have been ahead, so putting Roland on one wing and defensively he's strong, and on the other side, putting Aaron defensively he's also strong. And that's why I couldn't put minutes for Leroy, but really with his friends he is very happy. We are very happy. He's a very important and very big player. Of course, he's going to get a lot of minutes with us. But the beginning of this game and the following part in that history, we needed more defensive players holding the score. We preferred that type of players. Besides that, about me, in the last 3 years, when we take a look, it has been 3.5 years, perhaps the beginning of the first season when we put that aside, more or less. In the Turkish league already, we have very few losses and we have drawn very few games as well. We had some heavy losses, and because of these, some criticism can come, and we have to accept that. If there is any elogia, entonces we can also say that there is some criticism, and we should accept both of them. I'm not really getting stuck on that. Perhaps, as you said, a game that is between the two, we have actually a very high percentage of victories. So between these, we're gonna get some different results, and we have to accept those as well. And me, as the head coach, I have accepted these. Talking openly, the criticism when it's under the belt, it's a bit annoying. I would say they attack your team, the running distances, this or that. It's really as if for 3.5 years. This is not a team that has been the technical staff, but this year we have actually reunited, and we are actually they're talking as if that's the case. How many came to see our trainings, or how many has communicated with our athletic performance coaches? They have taken the running distances, what we have done throughout the season. They have seen, or what type of report they have received from our medical staff. there was an evaluation between the elite teams, and our head medic Yener has the details of this. If you want, you can ask him. Those who trained more, those who get least amount of injuries, when we are doing these type of very good results without seeing anything, without knowing anything, without following anything, just in the last game at the end there was 11 kilometers difference, but we have seen that it wasn't a real statistics, but there was such a hell that got loose. Visually you can actually if you can see, you should actually make that criticism, but as I said, there will be criticism. This is part of the job. Whenever you're winning a game, you get compliments. When you lose, you can be criticized. But I think we should actually get the truth of the matter, and we should criticize that way. I think football is evaluated this way, and everyone loves, and everyone can comment, and everyone can create a starting 11. That's why everyone wants to watch it. That's why about basketball there was a press conference, and there was no question either, because basketball, as I said, perhaps not known as much as football. That's why commenting about football, everyone is a head coach we see, and this is actually normal. That's why football is beautiful, in my opinion. That's why there's so much interest. Everyone is a head coach. Those on the streets, those on their houses, everyone is a head coach. And I like this. When I'm watching another game, I'm making comments as well why he didn't play, why he didn't go out, and I'm like a head coach for that team when I'm watching as well. We are gonna, some of us live in front of the camera, some are gonna live this in their houses, some in the street. Everyone can evaluate this. I think this is the beautiful side of football. I'm gonna ask a short question. For sure, especially for this game, you must have given a different tactic for every player. But I would like to enter between parentheses. He has a different job in the game. It was like this for Dries Mertens, and it was like this for Hakim Ziyech. I think he had received from defense to start the game. Key person was İlkay Gündoğan, in your opinion? Would it be correct? He has very good vision. He is very good on the ball, and what he does best is team defense, starting in front with Osimhen. Not a player that can press with as high intensity as Dries Mertens, perhaps, but with his intelligence, being smart. I think sometimes against four they have faced with two. I think one of the most valuable side for this game was how they started to defend with Osimhen, keeping the ball position and managing that was important as well. On the other side, İlkay is also developing without playing games. He had come to our team at the beginning of the season from the World Club Championship. He hadn't played, and in this process as well, we have seen in this game clearly he had a preparation period as well, but intelligence of the game as also leadership in the game. He is supporting us a lot. Last question from Mr. Nevzat. Congrats. Coach Sergen, before the game, had a message, a beautiful message about this game, wishing success for Galatasaray. At the weekend, your opponent, about this game for Derby. After such a victory, will it be difficult to motivate the team for the coming game? First of all, thank you to Coach Sergen. It has been a while, but I would like to say that it may go well for him. Besiktas team getting better. We are clearly seeing, especially in the last game, how they started the game. First 45 minutes, the game they played, how much Besiktas team is getting better. We have seen in the game, an important game we are going to play with same concentration. I think we're going to play. It's a derby. Outside of that, anything that we are lacking about concentration or motivation-wise, I don't think we will lack anything. I think this result is preparing us even stronger for the next game. 18, 19 days it has been, perhaps we didn't have a free day. It has been a long while since the national break. We didn't have a day off, and as as a bonus. I've given that tomorrow is free. More than the bonuses, paid bonuses, they are even happier for the free day tomorrow off. And the strongest way possible, we're gonna prepare for the next game. An important team they are. They are rising right now, and us, we are gonna be